Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So in this video I want to cover the story of the guy that has been sentenced to death by hanging for robbing a woman of 57,000 naira. Okay, I'm going to read a part of it. You guys can always go to Punch News and read. Okay, so it says vulcanizer. Who anyone that does not know, vulcanizers are people that fix the tires, you know, cars, for cars. So it says vulcanizer to die by hanging for stealing 57,000. I was like, okay, I must be missing something. And basically it says an Ikeja Special Offences Court presided over by Justice Mojisola Dada sentenced a 32-year-old vulcanizer Chidozie Onyichis to death by hanging on Tuesday for robbing a nurse of 57,000 naira. Then it says Justice Dada held that the prosecutor had proved the charges of conspiracy, armed robbery, and membership of an unlawful society against Onyechis. Dada said the convict's attempt to wiggle out of the charges was futile. This, she said, was because he had earlier confirmed to the police at Igondo, Lagos, that his victim, Veronica Owazo, cited him, and they both recognized each other at the time of the offense. Dada said the defendant had stated that the complainant pointed at him as one of the boys with a pair of scissors and successfully snatched her bag containing 57,000. If you read down, it says Onyechi admitted to belonging to an unlawful society, as stated that this is my first time of coming to Akesho to steal. I was initiated into Aye confraternity in 2009, but I have not killed before. Okay, if you read down, I'm skipping a lot of it, but like I said, you can go read the full thing if you want. It says the totality of the evidence before the court is compelling, and I find the defendant guilty of charges preferred against him. Okay, he is hereby sentenced to death by hanging, and may God have mercy on his soul. You can go read the whole thing, but if you read the whole of it, there is no part that says somebody's life ended or something like that. Get this, I'm not supporting any form of crime. To be honest, there are times when I sit and I say to myself, people that are a menace to society are better off just let them leave this world. Let's see if we can reduce the bad people. Let normal people. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There are some people, when you hear some of the crimes and this and that, you're like, they don't even deserve the oxygen they are breathing because they are all these kidnappers and all these things we hear all the time. But I'm looking at this particular case and I honestly don't understand why he's getting rope on his neck. And then on the other hand, I sat down and I thought about our politicians. This person stole 57,000 naira, which is not even, let's say, about $70 roughly. So it was that, I don't know, you guys leave your opinion. Does the crime and the sentence, do they actually match? Does the crime match this sentence? And now we're talking about the politicians. What is this one? What did he steal? That, I'm not saying he can get some time in jail or something like that, but to end his life over this. And our politicians that have robbed us blind, when they come out, we hail them. When they come out, you know, in a public gathering, they get the best seat in front. They get respected and honored and treated with all this, you know, with so much dignity. I don't even have the words to express how much they are honored and respected in society. And somebody's life is being ended because of $70. I'm smiling, but I actually feel like crying. $70. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Every criminal deserves a punishment. Let's not forget that. But what about the people that have put a lot of these people? I made a video recently which I was saying that my house, I don't have burglary proof. I'm living abroad. Nigeria will have burglary proof. If you don't know what it means, it's basically the cage, the metal bars you put at your windows and your doors, so that to prevent armed robbers and all of that. I don't have them in my house abroad. You know why? Everybody's life is comfortable enough that it is too much effort for anybody to break my window for whatever I have in my house. Like, people are not that desperate. They are not in such desperate situations. You know, let me explain it this way. You know, when people are they say at sea, They now said, or wherever, they found themselves in the middle of nowhere or whatever, and in a desert or whatever, and they're trying to survive. And we've heard about it, especially at sea. And they don't know how to survive. The next thing they say, they end up eating each other. I've watched documentaries about it. They eat each other for survival. So fine, I'm not coming to say eat each other is correct. But there are a lot of cases. I've seen a case where the person was let go because the court recognized the fact that they found themselves with no option. It became dog-eat-dog situation to survive. You get my point? So a lot of people that rob or do a lot of these things they do, a lot of them, it is because of desperate situation. People just need to survive. And what do? I will go to your house. I don't have. My neighbor has. I will go to his house or her house to go take from her by force because I need to survive. I explained in that video, I said, breaking my window or my door is not worth anybody's time. When we were new, we were still waiting to be documented. And the government give us free house or whatever. And they have small money they give you. You know, they give you enough money. And they give you money to care for your children. Like there's a monthly money they give for children or whatever. And my fellow Nigerian, we know they work. This guy, we were talking one day and he said he was watching the news. And one minister was on the news. And, you know, they were interviewing him at his house. And his children were playing. And he said the toy car that the child of the minister was riding, him that is not documented, his own child has it. It shows you that the gap between the rich and the poor is not that ridiculously massive. You end the life of the child of the poor man that is suffering the consequences of the actions of the politicians that are squandering all the money and looting and keeping for their generations unborn. They get no punishment, never. But the poor man's child that gets, there was a time they said a boy that was burnt on the street because he stole some gari. Gari. If you don't know gari, gari is the most basic thing anybody would need in a house. They couldn't afford it. And then I talk about, they say lecturers there, for example, lecturers that are not being, ASU people that are not being paid and they go on strike. The children, that the ASU lecturer that is not paid cannot feed her children or his children. And if his child or her child decides to go steal gari because they are hungry, you will come and burn that child alive. While the politicians that put their parents in the position that warranted this child to rob go scot-free. Am I saying crime is good? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying let's not forget who is putting people in this position. I don't know, but I think this is a story that should go viral because I do not believe that the sentence matches the crime. Let this person do time. Honestly, or else there's something that is not on this paper we're reading. But if stories like this go viral, maybe the government can get involved and they can speak about it. I don't believe that this is what the law says, that you should end somebody's life because of $70. I'll say it again. Let's not forget who is putting these people in this position, in this desperate position. If we let we deceive ourselves, God forbid that they end this person's life over $70. Do you think it will stop the next child, the next person from doing the same? Of course not. Do you think it will stop the next person from doing? No. Another person will do it because people are desperately trying to survive. Nigeria has no welfare system. Let's not forget it. Has no welfare system that you could not find a job or whatever. That is on one side. But I always say the problem is from the top. Not too long ago, I think in one of my live streams, I said it. I said, look, if you are looking at, when we say, so people say, no, it's the people. Every time we complain about our politicians, we complain about politicians. What is the people? But let me tell you, the truth is this. You cannot put how did they speak again? How did they speak? You can't put the cart before the horse. If the politician is not embezzling, do you know the kind of embezzling that is happening in Nigeria? It's not like the government is stealing, 10% and using the other 90% for the country. No. It's not like they are embezzling 50% and using, no. The embezzlement is like they are stealing 90%, if not 99%, and using only 5% for the people. Because when you hear trillions, you are like, what? When you hear the amount of money that is, the kind of stealing is too much. So if you think things like this will stop because you deleted one person, you are lying to yourself. When the government stops this amount of corruption and looting, if everybody, to a great extent, the standard of living is okay, a lot of things will not be worth anybody's while. In the past, did we hear about kidnappers? Our fathers, think about our father's generation. Were they kidnapping like this? You kidnap somebody and say, bring money so that we can. No. It is happening now. And you know the worst part is if you can sit down and say, Nigeria today is worse than Nigeria of before. A lot of Western society, if you see how they were before. I watch a documentary, see how they didn't have central heating. They didn't have this before. They used to wash cloth outside. They used to this. They used to be. And I was like, whoa. And then you see where they are today. You will see a street. They will show the picture of the street before. And they show the picture of the street today. They show and you see how far they've come. How far their healthcare system has come. How far science has come. How far education has come. And then you look at our country, you are saying, it is even getting worse today than it was before. And we're not seeing an end in sight. And instead of punishing those at the top, we leave them, you know, they are untouchable. We honor them, respect them. We say, be wonga. I don't know the Igbo word for that. If I say bully, I say, but it's like bully hello is like carry them up with respect. And then the people that are suffering the consequences of the actions of those you respect are the ones you bring on the street and burn to death. They're the ones you push on a rope and hang them. Please, guys, you don't have to share my video. I can put a link to that article. Please, guys, can we share this article? Can we make it public? And let's save a life. A lot of people are basically, you know, product of our corrupt system. I don't know, like I said, or is there something we're missing? This is a story I believe that we should make public. Let people see it. And let the government get involved. Let's see if we can save a life. I'm not saying the crime is good, but I do not believe that hanging him corresponds with stealing of $70. That is how I feel about it. As always, whatever your opinions are, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.